What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and the video length is probably shorter than usual, which means it's another filler day. It's not, I mean, kind of, but mainly not as a filler day. But we could still have some fun here because these things need to be known, especially for the amount of rebuilds we do. I remember like several Maddens ago, we'd maybe get to all 32 teams, and that was like a fantasy and realistic rebuilds. Now we easily get all the realistic rebuilds. We throw in specialty rebuilds. Hell, we went to Madden 18. You know, we need to know these things. Does awareness matter? Does play rec matter? We're going to find those things out. Of course, we can all agree that EA kind of has something going on for the Browns. They've got some sort of weird, sick, twisted fetish for the Cleveland Browns and everything that entails them. They just seem to always dominate. And of course, that's what we're going to see here. What are the stats like for the regular team? And then obviously when the awareness and play rec goes down, there is also other things I want to test out. I think we recently tested out what type of like jukeability works out best for these guys. There's got to be something else we're missing too. I don't want to like look at every single one we've ever done, but there's got to be some other ones. So if you guys have any ideas like what works best in franchise for sim, or what is something about abilities or anything at all that you think would be really good to know, or just something you're interested in, let me know in the comment section below, of course. And we had the scouting on all day. It doesn't matter because we don't have XP auto progressed. We don't have, college players, don't matter. And of course, we're headed to the playoffs, which, let's be honest, the Browns are going to be there. They are at 10-6, and not the hardest, especially for the Browns, not the hardest thing to beat, right? You could beat that if awareness and play rec doesn't matter, which I don't know. I can't tell if it does or not. Of course, we're going to have to write some of these down just so we can have these in the back of our mind for when we take a look at the lower overall team. All right, so we know that the rushing numbers are going to be kind of high because the Browns love to run the ball. Nick Chubb with 1,410 yards and 17 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 yards per carry, which is, I mean, the 10-6 record I feel can be beat, but man, I don't know if that rushing numbers from Chubb are pretty damn solid. Kareem Hunt, of course, decent numbers himself. Yards per carry are pretty solid. No 1,000-yard receiver, which I feel can be beaten. 6 touchdowns, 7.572. As far as receiving, once again, the yards are really not great. Blocking, these are actually really good numbers for Madden. And, I mean, honestly, looking at that line, I don't remember who they're going to keep in real life. I feel like Treader could be gone, but it's a very solid line in the league. Probably top 5, right? I would say. I think that's pretty safe to say. Tackles, really, really low, actually. Not even a single one at 100, or even really close for that matter. I mean, maybe Carl at 90. I guess that's kind of close, but 81, 77, it's pretty low. Tackles for a loss, Myles Garrett and Sheldon Richardson had some okay numbers. Sack totals, Myles, I've seen him do better, slightly worse than this. Nothing crazy. The rest of the sack numbers, not great at all. Pick numbers, pretty damn low. Kicking, Cody Parkey, 11 for 13. Blocked one time. Jamie Mullet. Is it a mullet or a rat tail? I don't know, dude. He's got long hair. Just under 2,000 yards with 48.2 yards per punt. Kick return punt. That doesn't matter. That's just the most randomized. Like, that's the most randomized thing you're going to get. What are the, like, actual numbers for, so, like, just about 1,000 yards total? Where, like, how does that rank on average in the league? I mean, it's, nothing special at all. It's just kind of just super randomized. I mean, players that probably won't even be on the return game. Like, do they still return with Jackson? He seems like he's probably a little too old to do that nowadays. No. I suppose we could probably take a look at some of our numbers. So number 4 overall for offensive yardage, which, I mean, that's pretty good. I don't know how you're going to really beat that. Exactly the same passing and rushing touchdowns. And then for the defense, pretty damn good too, right? But that's the most? No, that's the lowest. So was it like 9th or something like that? But let's take a look if the team can make the Super Bowl or not in the playoffs or whatever. Obviously, it doesn't really matter too much. And, yeah, I mean, so far, just success-wise, it's going to be tough to match. Obviously, they lose to the Chiefs, but still making the divisional round. I don't know if the zero awareness, zero play rec team can do that. Ravens versus the Packers. Just for the hell of it, we'll take a look. and it is the Ravens. Now, I don't remember every single overall, and I know you guys probably don't either, but I can tell you this. They were a lot higher of an overall than this. 61 overall just because of awareness and play rec. Of course, I don't think it matters too much for, like offensive linemen or quarterbacks, play rec and all that, but just to show you, we did in fact still lower it. Even though I don't think it's going to matter, we still lowered it. It's at 1. I have no idea what's going to happen here. This team, in theory, just on overall alone, should be 0-16 if you want to go for 61 overall. But once again, they're still really talented players. They're just, they have no awareness and they have no play rec, which, I mean, for some positions, that doesn't seem like it matters, right? Like, does it really matter for Myles Garrett to technically know the play if it's a pass? If it turns out to be pass, he's still running full blast anyways, isn't he? So, I mean, that's a little strange. As far as corner goes, yeah, I guess that makes a little bit more sense. Quarterback, play rec, I guess. If you want to get technical, does it mean like if it's a pass play, he's going to think it's a run and hand it off to the running back and it's going to be a fumble every time? I have no idea. Do you fumble more in general with low awareness? I have no clue. Of course, Nick Chubb, why does play rec and awareness matter so much for a running back? I mean, obviously for user, none of these matter at all if you're using that specific player, but for a running back, awareness and play rec, I'm not sure. Like, I'm trying to think of what position actually needs awareness and play rec. Like, running back doesn't need awareness, really, right? I mean, what's awareness? I guess ball carrier vision, but that's kind of different. Those are two different things. Receiver awareness, play rec. Once you get play rec, it's a different thing for defense. Defense is how fast you react to a play, whereas offense, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean what we think it does, where we're saying, oh, they aren't going to know the play, so they might accidentally block on a play that they're supposed to be running a route, which would be hilarious, but that's not how it goes. But let's go to the midseason. I just want to see. All right, so spoiler alert. We could see that it definitely matters. The thing is, though, I kind of want to see if it matters at all when you're actually playing. I don't know if we're on All-Pro or All-Madden. Maybe we should have changed it. I don't think it's going to matter too much. As long as it's one of the higher overalls or difficulties, we should see that it plays some sort of factor. If this team's going to go 2-13 comparatively to their 10-6 selves, surely there's got to be something that's going to define it, right? Like, is this kick going to go sideways because he's not aware of where the ball is or doesn't know where he has 2 feet? I don't even know. But I'd imagine the biggest thing you would notice is defensively, right? So, I mean, we're starting on defense. Let's take a look. Oh, water. Apparently, makers of this stadium weren't super aware because apparently it's in the water. Like, in theory, we should get torched down the field, right? I mean, so far, it's just, it seems like a basic can't stop the run type of situation. James Conner and the Steelers having a pretty good season running the ball, so nothing crazy out of the ordinary yet. I don't want to bring too many players up because obviously press man's already tough enough the way it is. And there, I mean, looks like he just kind of bumped off. I can't really tell if there's play rec issues or anything. I just want them to throw the damn ball. I get you have Big Ben and you don't want to throw the ball. That's the reason why, but come on, man. I mean, I don't see anyone, like, blatantly missing their, like, assignments or anything like that. And like I said, that's where you would see the biggest difference is defensively. The Miles on the user, obviously it is user, but yeah, I mean, I don't see it yet. I tell you that. Go man coverage. I'll user someone that isn't Miles, so I want to see if maybe Miles is going to suck on his own. I'm going to try to drag the double team here. So Miles on his own. Talkie, I mean, he's in coverage against a pretty decent tight end, so it's not crazy to expect him to get beat. Where are the other guys? So I'm trying to see how they're reacting. I mean, that looks perfect over there. I will say James Conner is left naked over here. Let's go with Richardson. Hopefully they don't run it, which they should because it's so open. I mean, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I kind of want to see offense now because I don't see anything on defense that would say that awareness or play rec really matters that much. I'd say play rec would really matter the most at corner, and that's honestly it. Safety, I guess, as Delpit gets hey, how did he get that? Awareness and play rec's low. How did he force the fumble? But yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, I don't see any issues with it there. O-line, maybe they're going to just absolutely let us die here. Let's see. I mean, the Steelers have a pretty damn good front for stopping the run, and I mean, it looked pretty good there on the ground. I can't lie. Let's run it again. I mean, the lanes are about pretty damn open considering. As T.Y. Hilton. I call him T.Y. all the time. It's Mike Hilton. Makes the play there. Let's see the receivers. Like, Odell shouldn't be nearly as good. He's like a 79 or something. Not really that open. Of course, the throw is really poorly there. Poorly thrown. Odell really didn't get open there, I will admit, considering he probably should have. We are probably on all Madden, though. Of course, we're stuck in this stupid camera view. I mean, that guy's pretty open. I mean, he's about as open as he can get. And he's not that great of a player. I mean, I don't see it. And he caught that ball, too. Yeah, I don't see it. I think awareness and play rec, at least for like every position that other than maybe cornerback, it just doesn't matter. Of course, it's going to affect you hard in sim, but as far as pure playing, I didn't see it. I don't see the issue. Of course, we do know though, once again in sim, it matters a ton, as we are about to potentially go 2-14 here with the Cleveland Browns, which just does not happen often. 52-0. So let's take a look at some of the matchups, and then let's take a look at the seasonal stats. So you can see here lots and lots of losses. A couple of high-scoring ones, too. 62 points there, 52, 42, 49. I'm a little surprised. I thought we were going to maybe expose EA that like overalls don't matter as much. I will say Baker had a lot more picks, but his yards were like similar. He actually had more yards there. Rushing, though, that's the one that took the biggest hit. Because, yeah, tons of picks sucks, but he still had a lot of yards, whereas Chubb, I mean, half of his rushing yards that he would have had if he wasn't, bad awareness and play rec, about half the touchdowns. Hunt's touchdowns didn't, hurt, but once again, yards per carry did. Odell actually had a better season here with low awareness, so it looks like in sim, receivers, it may not matter as much, because these receiving numbers were actually way better other than the touchdowns, which once again kind of comes down to that awareness for Baker rather than the awareness for wide receiver. So I'd say awareness and play rec doesn't matter that much for wide receiver. As far as blocking goes, yeah, we can see that the left tackle kind of died. Tackles better for the defensive side for sure. Sacks, oh, they were affected. 5 total comparatively to Miles, who had almost triple that on his own. Picks, kind of similar but lower. Kicking definitely took a hit. Punting, not affected at all. So awareness on a punter means what appears to be nothing, because he had way better yards per punt in this one. As far as kick return, punt return, and we actually had way more, but that probably is more to the fact that we probably had less success on offense and defense. But as far as awards go, I don't think did we even look all the way through on the other one? I have no idea, but I guess it doesn't really matter about the playoffs because they obviously didn't come anywhere near to where they are. So as far as in-game, I don't think it matters other than maybe corners, maybe safeties. Otherwise, the safety might jump out of position, but I think it's just really defensive backs, and that's it. But in sim, obviously, it means a lot to pretty much every position outside of wide receiver and then debatably like linebackers for their tackles. But to hear the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl and the Bengals get it through there, probably wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for the Browns sucking here. They would have won 1 or 2 games against them and knocked them out of the postseason. But yeah, there's the video. A little bit of a filler video, but also a very interesting one to say the least, because it actually had a big difference, a big impact, but it wasn't completely that way. Wide receivers seemed to be completely untouched other than touchdowns, which once again I think was Baker. So interesting, way more yards, but the touchdown to pick ratio was interesting, and rushing was way worse. So I don't know, maybe it was just a philosophy thing. Running wasn't working, so they decided to throw more, which obviously ended up being more receiving yards. But that's pretty much it. That is going to be the does awareness and play rec matter in Madden 21, and now we know the answer. So interesting. I really thought it was going to matter more in-game on defense. I really thought people were just going to be leaving players out of position all the time. Once again, I don't know what the difficulty was on. Damn it, all-pro piece of shangite. I don't know how much it would have changed for all Madden, but even on all-pro, it should have a big difference factor, right? And we just didn't see it. Anyways, like I said, if you have any suggestions for something like this, like abilities, you want us to test them, or different ratings, like what's more important, spec catch or catching traffic in sim or something, let me know in the comment section below. of course, we'll have a Rams video a little bit later today, and hopefully a second channel video on PK plays. We did a long stream yesterday, so probably going to be back either Sunday or Monday on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!